As we said, it's the last Sunday of 2025, and doesn't it always sneak up on you? It doesn't matter. Like even if 2024 we said, man, it's going so fast, I'm gonna be more mindful of every day of the year. But here's at the end of 2025, we're like, oh my goodness, 2025 has come to an end already, and I just got used to writing in my check. Anyone still write checks? Right? 1999. Right? Do you guys remember 1999 and the Y2K scare? We're already quarter way done with the 21st century. A quarter way done. Like in the 80s and 90s, we were thinking like 21st century, that is the future. We are like in the future. It goes by so fast. And then the year becomes decades, and then decades become like, I'm in my 50s or 60s, and life goes by fast, and it seems to pick up speed every year. So here's a Psalm 90, but beginning with verse 12, because I think verse 12 is like the line that really captures the song's essence. Each song has a line, don't they? It's not just a catchy tune, but the line just captures what the song is trying to say. And it's this, and you know this because you've heard this before. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Ain't that the truth? To number our days, to know how short it is. Sometimes it does feel long time, right? Oh my goodness, why does this day drag on? Sometimes it does that. It's a strange thing that we experience time as sometimes too long and sometimes too short. And that's sometimes just within a day. Like, what else do I have to do? How can I fill out my time? But then you realize, like, oh no, I don't got enough time to do the things that I want to do. So this psalm is about and maybe the gift of the end of the year is this. It doesn't force us, it makes us think about the number of our days. Because it makes us aware of how quickly time passes by. So now, knowing that this is the line, right? This is the line that we're going to continue to go back to. Let's go through the entire song. Psalm 90, from verse 1. And if you have the superscription, it will say a prayer of Moses, the man of God. Does the scripture tell you that? Yeah. Okay, a prayer of Moses. That's so important. We know that each song, they give you a superscription to show that, make sure that this is done in this type of melody. We might have been a sad melody. Make sure you use this instrument, because only this instrument can really express the emotions of this song. And each instrument does have a certain emotion, don't they? They say, oh, the author matters, so then they lift up the name. This was David when he was being chased by Saul. That context matters, so the person who collected these songs is telling you that specific historical fact. And so that Moses says this, wow, it gives another layer of meaning and emotional resonance, especially as you read this, because we know the life of Moses, especially because we went through the book of Exodus. And we know that he was born in privilege. He thought the privilege would protect him, but he realized he can't, because even if he grew up in the Egyptian court, he's still a Jew. That class privilege is not going to protect his race. And then he gives it all up, right? His desire to rescue his people retires from that type of idealism to live a middle-class existence. But then he gets a call at the young age of 80. And then you know how that went, right? Not smooth. It was amazing. He saw some amazing miracles. He was able to rescue his people from 400 years of slavery. And they thanked him for a day. But after that, they constantly complained. Complain. And so he had a hard life. And so with all of that, he says this thing. So having that context, a lived human experience that is like us and not like us, I think everything will hit a little bit harder. And I love this, a prayer of Moses, the man of God. It's like that's all you need to hear. Or that's the only thing he needs to have for description. Moses was the man of God. And wouldn't that be good if people could say, yo, right, Sam, he was the man of God, right? Sandra was the woman of God. And you don't have to add anything else, any other description, any other action. You just have to say, he was the man, she was the woman. We understand what that means. Not perfect, but gosh, they try to be faithful. And whenever they were faithless, they went back to God who was faithful and trusted God to pull them through. And they did what was required of them in their lifetime. I love that. To be the man and the woman of God for 25, for 26, and how many more years we have left. Simple as that. And then it goes on, the Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. So that first Moses draws a scale of time that goes beyond the human life, right? It's the scale of the mountains, the scale of the universe, the scale of God, infinite, eternal. I don't even know what that means, right? It's not just time on and on. It's just another quality. And you turn people back to dust, and he brings it back to the human, right, scale of life, saying, return to dust, you mortals. 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by, or like a watch in the night. Yet you sweep people away in the sleep of death. They are like new grass of the morning. In the morning it springs up new, but by evening it is dry and withered. We are consumed by your anger and terrified by your indignation. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. All our days pass away under your wrath. We finish our years with a moan. Our days may come to 70 years or 80 if our strength endures. Yet the best of them are but trouble and sorrow, for they quickly pass and we fly away. If only we knew the power of your anger. Your wrath is as great as the fear that is your due. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. All right, so there's some hard parts there, but truthful, aren't they? Very, very truthful and very, very honest. Here is a man of God in an old age where he doesn't have any more energy to just mince words. He wants to tell you as it is. This is what it is like. And the first thing he does is just compares the scale of a human life to the scale of larger things. Nature, mountains, earth, universe, and God. We forget that sometimes. I remember this year I had gone to Colorado. I was going to for my work for the 1001 New Worship Community, and there the backdrop was the beautiful Colorado Rockies mountains, snow-capped, wonderful. Every morning you wake up and there are the mountains. And I took so many selfies, as we do nowadays. And we think the mountains are there just for us. All this nature is there for us to take selfies, right? For us to experience. But here's the thing that we realize when you spend a little bit more time, right? When you're not taking selfies and you're just looking at these things around, you realize that all these things were before we were. They were there long before we came to existence. And they will be there long after we pass on from this life. Like, they're not there for us. It's like we were there for a blink of an eye for those things. So just to put our life, our years, in the context of these other larger scaled lifetime or times, let me give you this here. Right? So Moses says human beings 70 to 80. Even in those times, right, that's a pretty long life. Today, we go beyond now. We live 70, 80, 90. Probably 90 is like the max most people. Some people even at 100. But that's it, 100. Let's give 100. Let's be generous. 100 years. May we all live to 100, healthy, with a sound mind. and that we still jog at 100 years old. I hope we have that long life. But 100. An oak tree lives up to, a healthy oak tree lives up to 100 years. Coral reefs that we go swim and we look at this beautiful color, they take around 1,000 years, give and take another 100 or 200 to form, to mature. Right? Human civilization, how long do you think we've had human civilization where we begin to understand that there's history before us because we start telling stories and recording stories? That's only 10,000 years. Not a lot. Ice ages, when the ice age comes, you know how long they last? 100,000 years. Human civilization, 10,000 years. Ice ages last 100,000 years. They come and they go. These things like when we go to the Grand Canyon, how it's flat on the top, that's the 100,000 years ice age glacier coming and just slicing, like slowly chiseling away and flattening those mountaintops. Mountains, those Colorado mountains, right? They rise, and it takes around 2 or 3 million years to slowly come and rise, right? Those plate tectonics pushing against each other, and to get to where they are. Those are 2 to 3 million years in the making. Can you even imagine that? Right. 80 years, 90 years, 2 or 3 million years. Continents move around. Where we are where we are right now because these continents have moved around. And they drift and go to their places. It takes around 10, give or take, another few more million years. The Earth is 4.5 billion years. Like, does billion even make sense to us? Stars like our sun, they last around 10 billion years. Scientists say right now our sun is in its midlife, around 5 billion years old. And our sun orbits the Milky Way galaxy for 225 million years. So one turn, revolution around the Milky Way galaxy is 225 million years. And they say our Milky Way galaxy is 13.6 billion years. So our life is really, really short, isn't it? You've had dogs before, I think, right? You've had dogs. Right now we have a dog named Joy. He's 80 years old, and at most he has maybe 8 more years, right? 14, 15, 16 years. And I look at that, I think, I have pity. Oh, such a short life. Only, 15, 16 years, and then that's it. Cannot be able to fully enjoy going around the world, right? Going past beyond our neighborhood, looking at different parks and smelling different trees. Just 16 years. But then how much more is our years compared to the dog years? Not that much. So Moses, as he comes to his end, he says, wisdom begins, right, by counting the number of our days. And when we count them, it's not a lot. And then he says, not only is it that our days are short, it's that we are actually just made of dust. That's all we are. Our ears feel like just dust in the wind, our ears. But we ourselves are made of dust. From the dust we are formed, Adam. And when we die, eventually, this brilliant life that we live, these beautiful memories, they no longer live in here, and this body becomes dust. And so we have, right, ash to ash, to dust, from dust to dust. And Moses reflects upon that. We are just dust, and God blows, and it is gone. But then, not only is our life short like dust, not only is our body just dust, God is angry with us. And this is Moses just being real with us and with God. Like, God, you are angry with us? Why do you even care what we do in our lives? Before there's mountains that takes millions of years to form. These glaciers that go 100 million years. All right, we sin and you're angry. And then you remember our iniquities. And then when we forget our iniquity, you flash that light on us and show, see all these sins. And what are we to do with all these sense of guilt? Do we just say, well, you know what? God doesn't care. Why should I care? It's a short life. Let me do whatever I want. But you can't really live like that, can you? Because it's not like the guilt is like we just feel it because that's just, we are created as moral beings. And when we do wrong, and especially when someone does wrong against us, oh, we feel it. We don't go like, it's such a short life. It's okay. It's a short life. Whatever you did, you betrayed my heart, you betrayed my trust, you took all my money, it's okay. We don't do that. Oh, it's only 10 years, 20 years, right? You abused me with, labor, you abused me physically, it's okay. We don't do that. It's wrong. And so when Moses says this, like, why are you so angry with us? Help us to remember that you're angry. I think so many things are happening. Our life is so short. Help us, let us just be. No. Our life is so short. So it's so important. So we got to treat ourselves better, treat others better. You got to treat me better. Because it's so short. And this is all we got. Like, we can't experience all of the world. Right? Our experience is so limited. In my life, my experience is my family and my friends, my coworkers, that's it. So in that tiny little world, shouldn't we treat ourselves better? Shouldn't we give ourselves good memories? Shouldn't we experience love? And I think Moses is saying that. It's not so much like God is always angry, he's always going around angry. We talked about this, God is love. But I think that anger is reflecting God's love for us and wanting us to experience joy and love. The only reason why I would get angry at my children is because I love them. I think I've shared this with you. If my neighborhood kids does something wrong, I'm like, poor kids, I might gossip, but I don't get angry at them. I don't. Because I don't love them enough to get angry at them. I don't care enough for my neighborhood kids. Not that I'm a cruel person, I just don't know enough about them. I don't care enough to be angry at them, but I feel a moral responsibility for my children, so I care enough to get angry. When I feel like they're doing things that will hurt their life. So Moses reflects upon the shortness of life, that we're like dust, and that we are just dust. And then about God's anger, but then we got to remember what God's anger says. And then he also talks about, again, being honest. We got 70 to 80 years? But they are filled with what? Troubles and sorrow. He says that, doesn't he? Troubles and sorrow. He says, right? Our days may come to 70 years or 80 if our strength endures. Verse 10. Yet the best of them are but trouble and sorrow, for they quickly pass, and we fly away. That is true too. Our years are full of trouble and sorrow. Trouble meaning troubles of our own making. Trouble because we live with human beings and they make it hard. Even the most beloved of ours, family members, right? They make it hard. We make it hard. There's trouble, isn't there? And then there's society. Come on, right? The things these governments do, the way they send young men to fight battles for rich men's greed. All these things, there's so much trouble. And Moses knows this, doesn't he? About Pharaoh, the empire. And then trying to free his people, and physically they're freed, but mentally they're not. They're still stuck in their old ways. They still look into the Egyptian days and they were better days. What are you talking about? I know choice is hard because now you got no one else to blame. But choice is still better than to be a slave. And he's trying to teach them. And trouble all the way, where even his own brother Aaron and Miriam actually rebels against him. Like, why? We did this together. This whole freeing our people to God, and now you're turning against me? So he has so much trouble. Our ears are full of trouble, aren't they? And sorrow because, well, I mean, you were talking about, friends we lose. It's not because of some immoral act. Sorrow because, well, human beings, we're fragile and things pass. And so we lose our friends and there's sorrow. And it's okay for us to admit, as Moses did, there's been troubles in my life. Before we rush into the joy, there is joy, because I believe that that's fundamental experience of human life. That no matter how hard it gets, there is joy, and we'll get to that. But trouble and sorrow is part of experience. And so as the year ends, it's okay for us to say, okay, these are some of the troubles that I faced this year. It is not a doubting of God. It is not. That's why I love these songs. These songs are so honest. Okay, remember Psalm 22? God, why have you forsaken me? That's an experience that we have. And there it is in the Psalms. And so some troubles and some sorrows. So at this time, this is what we're going to do. I know we spend a lot of time thanking God, and which is good. But at this time, are there some troubles and sorrows that you want to name? What were some of the troubles and sorrows that you had? Who are some of the loved ones that you had to say goodbye to that caused sadness in your heart this year? And you're free to share. Lift up their names or maybe give a sentence. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
15, 20 years beside somebody and sing and went to different churches and stuff. Now I'm like you say, I look like I got a solo career now.
Yeah.
I just like to try. I mean, we talk all the time.
Yeah, you two are brothers. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting over it.
Yeah. 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 And even getting over it, maybe we should even talk about it. Getting over it, it's sadness. Yeah, we miss him. Yeah. Anything else that you want to lift up? Uh-huh. Mm. Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 I hear you. Yeah. Alana, you had your hands up, but you could just speak it out. Yeah. Mm. 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 Okay. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah. We carry sadness for the troubles of other people's, and we should. We should. Mm. 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 Okay. Okay. Others? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we was younger, and then as we get older, we all have illnesses, setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
As we get older, our body starts to break down, but it's tragic and sad to hear how you
Mm-hmm.
must have suffered before you pass away. And I mentioned the house across the street from the alley. She had an aneurysm,
Mm-hmm.
and that, the complications of
Mm-hmm.
that, and I could just only think of the suffering she endured before
Mm-hmm.
God called her home. So
Mm-hmm.
it's sad, and I try to think back to, I see ghosts of when we was younger. Every time I come down my mother's house, I come down 42nd, I stay on the porch and just look and see flashbacks of
Yeah.
stuff we used to
Right.
do, kids running all over the
Mm-hmm.
place. What we did certain times of the day, it was whatever time
Mm-hmm.
it was that I was out there, what we were doing that time. It's strange to see how quiet that block is.
Mm-hmm.
That block is always full of noise from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
There's always some kind of noise going on, music, kids running around. Now it's like a cemetery in a way.
Yeah.
A lot of people have passed through these streets.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my friends moved to other cities. We still keep in touch, but it's sad to hear somebody really through
Yeah.
what happened to them.
Yeah.
I came in threes. That guy across the street, but across the alley from his sister and another guy on my street, mother passed away all in three months.
Mm.
So there's a lot of anxiety
Yep.
for everybody that can.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Troubles and sorrow, they're part of our experiences, but so is joy, which is fundamental, and for me, it's the most surprising thing. So here's Moses continuing, relent, Lord, how long will it be? Have compassion on your servants. Verse 14, satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our days. Make us glad for as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have seen trouble. May your deeds be shown to your servants, your splendor to their children. It's a beautiful song, and there's so much here. In a good song, in a good poetry, one sentence can say so much. And for me, when Moses will make us glad for as many days as you afflicted us, I think the more that we can feel and be real with the afflictions and sadness, the more real and the more deeper we can feel joy. The depth of our ability to acknowledge our sadness is a depth in which we can experience joy too. Like if we shut off the negative emotion, we shut off what we consider positive emotions. They are actually related. That's just part of the human experience. The joy that we have with a person that we love is intimately intertwined with the sorrow that we have when we lose them. It is, we love those we are angry at, right? They're all connected. And another thing that I get from this, satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love. I think it's poignant that Moses points out a specific part of the day, the morning. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, because I think it's in the morning that we remember that actually every day is still a beautiful gift. Like no matter what happened the day before, and we know this experience. When we wake up in the morning, even when we go to sleep, we're not like, oh, please give us. We don't, even if we don't pray. This is the faithfulness of God. When we wake up in the morning, we all wake up with some new energy. God does something in our sleep, through our body, through our dream, or whatever it is. Even though we forget our dreams, we wake up and we still feel refreshed, and that we can face whatever lies ahead. And maybe that morning, that happiness or that joy or the hope, it might take you some time for you guys, right? Like when I first wake up, I do not jump out of bed. I'll be honest with you. I do not jump out of the bed. But I have this ritual in which I wake up, I brush my teeth. Everyone should brush your teeth. And then I take a cold shower and I do like 30 minutes of exercise and I have coffee and the kids are still asleep. And I'm like, okay, I could do this again. And not just like, oh, I could do this again. Like, you know what? Today, I'm going to do it better. I don't have to get myself to there. It just comes as a gift. This unfailing love of God that we experience every morning. Whether we recognize it as coming from God or not, whether we name it as unfailing love, it is the unfailing love of God that gives us hope every morning. And we could feel it more, we could know it more when we open ourselves to it more. I felt this in a powerful way recently. It was one of those winter days, one of the snow days, right? When it snowed in the evening, we came up, it's really cold. But then before humans make a mess of it, it's all beautifully white powdered world. And it's beautiful, isn't it? And I wrote this. I am awake and not by choice. I woke up at 4 a.m. and not by choice. I believe it was God. My body said enough, so I stand in my living room deep in shadows. And out the window looking over our yard is a snow-covered world, and I return to wonder. It's not just a trick of the eyes. I can't convince myself of that. That all of this is an illusion, a temporary insanity, to be so taken by a sense that it's just the turns of the weather. I pick up my pen because I can't deny this deep, inescapable joy of living. It's inescapable, isn't it? Even with all the troubles and sorrow, we wake up and like we are so happy to be alive. And we look next to our children, our loved ones, our spouse. And yes, we've had our times of troubles. We've had our angers and where we hurt each other with words. We're so happy to wake up with them. Joy is the fundamental experience of human life, isn't it? As short as it is, as hard as it is, even if you don't want to experience joy, you experience joy. Where does it come from? The love of God, the unfailing love of God that comes to us every new morning. And I think that is why no matter what happened in the year, we're always thinking, you know what, next year I'm going to still make my New Year's resolution and I'm going to make myself better because joy keeps coming. Joy keeps coming. Joy keeps coming. Yeah. My life is full of troubles and sorrow, but my goodness, my life is also full of joy. And this is so how he ends his song. Verse 17, so may the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Remember how we started this whole study of songs, and we went to this place where it was just blessing after blessing after blessing, and we stopped blessing each other. We should bless each other more. We should just say to each other, may all your prayers be answered. May God give you all the desires of your heart. Have you guys been practicing blessing each other? Daily basis. And you know what? We should bless ourselves. This is what Moses is doing. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. And so this is the blessing I want to give to us. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on Shawnee. May God's good love, may God's joy, may God's power rest on us all every day of this year and the new year. And may God establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Because at the end, we don't get value from our work, from the product, the result of it. The result of the work of our hands is not up to us. There's so many other complicated factors of it. But we do it and we give it to God. Let God establish it in God's own time. Me, I will just get the satisfaction, joy of, hey, I did my work for the day. It's on you, God. You bless it. I'm just going to experience the joy of just having done my duty. That's all. So one more time, I'll close with this. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us and establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Amen and amen.